Hello everybody. Welcome back to some more Donkey Kong Country 2. And we're starting off on World 3, which is the Bayou level. And this is where the game starts getting hard.
Is this where we're gonna meet Billy?
Billy who? Oh, Billy Bob Thornton.
No, Bayou Billy.
Oh yeah, Bayou Billy from the NES game, yeah. No, unfortunately not. Although, that is a game I wouldn't mind doing a Let's Play of, because it's one of those hard NES games I've actually managed to beat. um, I don't think the audience will know what I'm talking about, but there was an old channel that I used to watch way back in the day, like 2006, 2008, something like that, called Sly Dog Studios, who would make like gaming tips for old NES games, and that's how I managed to beat the Adventures of Bayou Billy, because he actually did a video on that game.
Okay, what has Billy Bob Thornton done? Oh, he has been in the recent Netflix movie, The Electric State, as narrator, actually. Now that's jolly.
I have no idea what the hell that's even about, but the only thing I know about Billy Bob Thornton is that he is in a band, and I guess as a bit of a... I don't even know how to describe it. As like a way for him to be like, I guess a bit more modest and like not have all the attention on him. He said that, hey, in an interview, he said, hey, you know, when you're introducing us, don't mention any of my like acting work, because this is about the band kind of thing, right? So...
Oh, that's nice.
So the guy mentioned, oh yeah, so here we are, Billy Bob Thornton and his crew. You might know Billy Bob Thornton as an actor and blah blah blah. So anyway, so tell me about your upcoming album or whatever. And then Billy Bob Thornton just immediately starts going on like some weird diatribe about how he used to make model planes or something as a kid. And the interviewer is like, okay, I didn't ask that, but and then after a while he started catching on. He's like, Billy, did I do something to like upset you? And he's like, yeah, you mentioned that I was an actor when I told you specifically not to.
Yeah, dickhead, you had one job. Like, the instructions were clear. Are you a Monty Python character?
But according to the guy, he just said, well, I was just saying that, you know, who you were, and that's basically it. So it was just kind of like one of those really weird situations. But that was like the last thing I heard about Billy Bob Thornton. And that was like almost a decade ago now that happened.
Yeah, I mean, I actually don't know what he has been on into.
I think he still does movies, but he's definitely been a lot quieter as of late.
He was in a series called Landman, 10 episodes.
Yeah, never.
He was in a movie called Standing on the Shoulders of Kittens.
That sounds nice.
That is certainly a title.
Well, I guess it's supposed to be juxtaposed to Standing on the Shoulders of Giants.
Yes.
Anyway, so this is arguably probably one of the worst levels in Donkey Kong Country 2. As you can tell, you can't see shit. And that's the gimmick of the level.
If there is a gimmick that should result always in corporal punishment for the developers, that is it.
Yeah.
I mean,
And
that is that is pretty much the worst, like the reason for the worst game in the Half-Life series and the worst level in Dark Souls.
well, in Dark Souls, you could still use a torch to see, right?
Yeah, but that occupies the place of your shield. So basically, like, if you didn't want that, you either had to put some points in magic to, if you're not a magical focused character, just to, so you could use the light spell, or you had to get the, go to Lost Isolith to get the bug that gives you, that can light the path ahead. It was, that whole level was such like a, the Dark Souls developers are very lucky. It's not legal to slap them in the face for that. And for Bed of Chaos, really.
I don't know, Gokes. Sounds like a skill issue to me.
Yeah, it was, Bed of Chaos was definitely a skill issue on the developer's part. Like that it is a wonder, like, did they proof test that fight? How did they not how did they release that and thought it was acceptable?
For reference,
Because
I have played Dark Souls, like the trilogy, but I couldn't tell you anything by name. It's been so long since I've last played it.
Bad Chaos is the tree boss that is atrocious. Like, it breaks the floor underneath you.
Was this
And it's
Dark
just-
Souls 3?
One.
1.
I've only played Dark Souls 1,
Okay.
and it's freaking awful. Because, like, in most of the fights in that game, you actually, like, it's, it requires some reaction time. You can be sitting on your ass on the fight. So it's most of the fight, like, the difficulty is just based on reaction time. Battle
that's-
Chaos
You could say
is
that
based
the
on-
same thing for, like, all of the Dark Souls bosses and challenges.
not Bed of Chaos. Bed of Chaos is based specifically on whether you can guess, like, if it is your, like, a first time or even your third, is on whether you can guess where the level is gonna break. And if you don't know by memory, you're gonna fall either way. So either, and, like, there is no save point, there is no torch right before the boss. So you get a really cheap death. And then you have to backtrack, like, some, like, 5 to 10 minutes just to get to fight it again. It's probably one of the lowest points in the entirety of the Dark Souls series.
You know, that you mention it, and I don't remember Bed of Chaos whatsoever, so I'm not sure. It's part of the main story, right? Like, you have to do it?
Yes, it's one of the 4 lords you need to kill to get access to Gwyn to Gwyn.
Yeah, the
Final
big,
boss.
the big titty Empress who's not actually the Empress.
No,
Okay.
no, that is not Gwyn.
Like I said, I don't know
At
much
all.
about Dark Souls.
The big titty woman is an illusion.
Yeah, I know, because in my playthrough I killed her.
Mm-hmm. Why?
Mostly because someone in, because I was streaming it, and someone in chat said, hey, you should attack her. And I was like, alright. And then I got to see, the true version of, that area.
Mm-hmm.
Did you do it, or no?
No.
Oh,
Why attack such beautiful titties?
because they're an illusion.
Even then, if an illusion is enough to make a man happy, it deserves to live on.
I don't know, man. Do you say that about succubuses, too?
No, that can kill a man. That's not gonna make you happy.
Well, they kill you by making you happy.
That is that you're omitting a few details on that process right there. So
Look, they suck the soul
Ish.
out of your penis, alright?
Yeah, I mean, wow.
What?
I just noticed that guy exploding.
Yeah, that's what pufferfish do. They explode.
You
But
failed biology too, didn't you?
I failed a lot of
You're make
things.
you're making me question Canada's education system. Well, then again,
Well,
if your
it's
country voted
education
for,
system in general that's bad over here. Like,
uh,
not just Canada, it's bad in the States, it's bad in Europe. Long story short, the Industrial Revolution and its consequences have been a disaster for the human race.
are you gonna write a manifesto for that,
Nah, someone else
or
already beat me
just,
to it.
or just gonna, are you gonna cut to the chase?
Nah, someone else already beat me to it. No point in beating a dead horse.
Mhm.
But yeah, you do know why, like, school education systems are usually, like, really bad, right?
Unions?
No, not so much unions. It's the idea that they're not designed to actually teach. Really, they're more designed to memorize facts rather than interpret the meaning of those facts. And it's also designed to make good workers rather than, like, good thinkers.
All right, well, I'm gonna guess that's not the entirety of the reason, but.
Well, it's a pretty big reason, but yeah, it's one of the reasons.
Hmm. Oh my god, this level is annoying. What the hell?
Yeah, and on top of that, it's also the boat water levels that I fucking hate because you have to rub up against every single fucking wall to make sure you got your secrets. Which, before someone mentions it, yes, I know I missed a secret at the very beginning of the level. But I go back and get it on a second run through.
This whole mechanic, though, like the light flashing in the screen. This is bad.
Yeah.
Can you not kill those piranhas in any way?
Only if you're riding Ungard. That's the only way you can kill anything while swimming. And even then, Ungard can't kill every single thing underwater. I think there's like a few enemies he can't. And also, while riding Ungard, you have to be careful because the angle can be a little funky sometimes.
So yeah, what we were talking about before we got into the succubus. Oh yeah, Dark Souls.
Yeah, you're complaining how you have no skill. So anyway, you were saying?
I was about to throw a slur in your direction, but I'm gonna refrain from that. Oh my god!
What?
This nonsense here.
Yeah, I couldn't find an exit if there was one, so I had to go back. But then they spawned an enemy right at the exit, the entrance. So that was fun.
This is awful.
Yeah, yeah.
Let's do a live stream of. Let's do a live stream of Dark Souls, so I can laugh at you when you finally get to Lost Izalith.
But I already did a live stream of the Dark Souls.
Do it again.
Fine.
Did you hear me stutter?
Also, I think this bonus room is the same thing as thing as the first bonus room of this level that we did. But the difference is that the first one we had to do without the fish, and this time we have the fish. So basically, it's a whole new bonus room. There is a way to sort of cheat this level's gimmick, and that's just to turn up the contrast and brightness on your TV or monitor or whatever the fuck.
Yeah, the secret is not play it.
But how else are you gonna brag to people that you got 102% in Donkey Kong Country 2?
By lying.
I don't know, Goke. Lying doesn't get you far. I mean, look at Elon Musk. He lied about his Path of Exile and Diablo 4 playthrough.
Yeah, and a bunch of... yeah, and he's still a billionaire.
Yeah, which doesn't make... Well, I can kind of understand that he got someone else to play the game, like he paid them to do it, but at the same time, it's like... Well, why lie about it? Like... It's one of those things where if Elon Musk said, yeah, I paid someone to play this game on my behalf, it'd be like, fine, you run like 5 corporations and are the advisor to the president. Like, that's perfectly fine. I don't...
Yeah, I mean, it would be understandable. No, people wouldn't exactly be... Not that many respectable people would be lining up to criticize that. But, I was thinking about making like some commentary about the people, the twats who bought Tesla because they thought that in the future, that like 5 years from now, electric cars are going to be a viable thing.
Yeah.
Because lithium is a renewable resource, right? It's like grass. I mean, lithium is going to last forever.
Yeah, like, the idea of an electric car, it sounds good, but there's a lot of practical issues with it. Like, I know that in Canada, like, even for, if you go to, the southern areas, or close to the American border, it's still technically too cold for electric cars to be viable.
Yeah. I mean, and then I think... what was I gonna say?
Something about electric cars and people buying stock in Tesla.
Yeah. Yeah, because the... I lost track of what comment I was going to make. I think the main thing really is that like there is no infrastructure to accommodate electric cars, and even like the energy production is not enough. Even if there was, energy production is not enough to supply them all. Oh, and then like in Watchmen, they had electric cars all the way in the 80s, but that's because they had like a godlike being who could manipulate the atomic structure of the components they needed for that. So...
Oh, you're talking about Watchmen? Sorry, you kind of cut out there.
Yeah, in Watchmen they had electric cars, but that's because Dr. Manhattan could literally manipulate like the atomic structure of matter, of the elements. So it's like the one fiction where it's like a... Even there in fiction, electric cars were only possible because basically a god did it. A being of godlike powers manipulated the world to make it possible.
Yeah.
So like it's not a thing it's an illusion to think it's gonna be in any way viable with the technology we have today. In any way valuable, in a way, not valuable as... In any way... possible. With a level of, like... the methods we have today for energy production, and no, that's gonna be valid in a large scale. It's gonna be usable on a large scale.
Yeah. Who
It's
knows?
kind of funny
Maybe
how
someday we'll figure out cold fusion or something.
it's kind of funny how a lot of the stuff that people know Elon Musk about is basically selling a concept over actual physical over actually feasible alternative. Mainly the electric car thing. Like it's mainly he was selling people the concept of like a green car, which is not really green because you're gonna you're gonna need energy that still relies a lot on fossil fuels to be viable.
Yeah,
Like,
honestly, I don't know a whole lot about lithium as an element or what have you, but
no, me neither. I just know that it's the thing that they need for electric car batteries, and it's not
well,
exactly an element that you find in abundance.
Yeah, well, from what I remember in my electrical course, when it comes to batteries, the reason why lithium is so good is because there was like essentially a chart that we were given that was like, okay, so here are like the main elements that you can use to make a battery. And the further apart that these two elements are from each other on the list, the better your battery. And lithium was like number 1, and at the very bottom was gold. So theoretically, you could make a lithium gold battery that's like the most powerful battery on the planet.
Yeah, that was not.
So that's why
That would be a
lithium is
dream.
used, is because if you can pair with basically anything, you get a good battery.
I'd imagine if gold was abundant enough to do anything close to that.
Yeah. Instead, we have to use it for fucking jewelry.
No, we don't use it for anything. We just hide it. Hide it like to make sure. Oh yeah, the nation sure has gold. It's in this fort here. You just can't see it.
No, I've seen Die Hard 3. It's hidden somewhere in New York City by one security guard. Have you seen Die Hard 3?
A long time ago.
Yeah. But they make it a point that the gold that they stole from... I don't even know what it was, if it was like a bank or something. But it was like... there was more gold there in New York City than there was in Fort Knox, and I'm like, doubtful.
There are jokes that I could make in this situation, but I'm gonna refrain from doing that.
Okay. Anyway, this level is probably one of the best levels in Donkey Kong Country 2. It's fun and happy, you get to play as a snake, it's great.
Mm-hmm. And the designer really liked the color green.
Well, we're in a swamp. Everybody knows the swamps are green.
Have you ever heard of that theory about the purple Earth?
Theory of Purple Earth? No.
Yeah. Basically, there is a theory that when the only life found on Earth was prokaryote life forms, bacteria, prokaryote bacteria, you have a lot of this bacteria would be full of a pigment that is a retinal pigment that reflects a color that absorbs like the visible spectrum of light and reflects purple and ultraviolet. So and like since they were the predominant life form, the entirety of the Earth would be just would be a purple environment.
Weird.
Yeah, was watching a video. Weird about this is a girl who has like a PhD in I think geology or something like that, and she gave like an extensive explanation of why it was like this.
So I have to look up some research on the in-depth Donkey Kong Country lore, but I'm actually curious if it's canonical or not that Dixie Kong's ponytail is actually her real tail, because she doesn't actually have a tail.
Well, if she's an ape, I think it makes sense, because apes don't have tails, right?
Well, she's a monkey because she looks like Diddy.
Hmm.
Like
Maybe she's a small ape.
Maybe. I don't know. But how is she able to control her hair so well? That's the question.
Well, she has years of proficiency in headbanging.
She, listened to that, Whip It song by, fucking, Willow Smith, or whatever the fuck.
I think the name is Whip My Hair. Whip It is from a band from the 80s.
Yeah. I just forgot the name of that stupid song, but...
I think it's Whip My Hair, which is probably voted one of the most obnoxious songs ever written.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. But then again, that's more or less the quality that you could come to expect from Will Smith's kids.
One of the most beloved up until a few years ago. One of the most beloved and charismatic celebrities in Hollywood, and his entire family is just a disappointment.
Yeah.
His wife is a skank. His children are hacks.
And he ignores
the only reason
he ignores his oldest child too because he had that in a previous relationship.
Possibly with a woman who wasn't a whore.
Yeah.
Or has he always had bad choice in women?
I don't know. As you could probably tell from my knowledge of Billy Bob Thornton, I don't really keep track of celebrity news. A lot of it is more or less cancer.
Yeah, but you gotta wonder, like, what kind of dirt does Jada has on Will that he would accept such humiliation? I mean, that is like, there's no reason to accept that kind of behavior from your own.
Yeah, that was me trying to look for secrets because they do that thing in this level where you basically have to either swim in the rising slime or go off underneath platforms on the opposite sides of the map, kind of thing. And like I said, I am not that familiar with Donkey Kong Country 2's secrets, so I had to look up the information beforehand and then kind of remember it, and I'm not very good at remembering things.
As exemplified by the multiple times you confused the Sleeping Beauty with Snow White.
And like I said, I apologize that I confused the story of a princess who is cursed by an evil witch to fall asleep forever with the other story about a princess who gets cursed by an evil witch to fall asleep forever.
Well, you have apologized, but I haven't forgiven you yet.
Okay. Yeah. Oh man, gotta climb up all the way carrying these cannonballs. Disgusting.
Hey, don't skip leg day.
Yeah, and here we are. Like I said, they do that bullshit a lot in this level.
We think Diddy Kong is into hip hop, or he's more of an R&B, general pop kind of guy.
I think he's the type of guy who it just follows what's cool at the moment, so to speak.
So he doesn't really like anything. He's just a poser. He's
Yeah,
like
a
a
little
trend
bit, yeah.
chaser. He's a trend chaser.
Let's see. Oh, should we talk about the interesting video that I found the other day?
Which one?
The one talking about Donkey Kong Country's feminism angles.
How about no?
Okay. Anyway, for those of you who want the too long didn't watch, because it's an hour long, it was very cringe.
An hour-long video to talk about feminism in Donkey Kong. Goodness gracious. Humanity has... Yeah, you're right. The Industrial Revolution was a mistake. We should go back to the Middle Ages. I mean, at my age, I should be not be working a desk job where I do nothing for like 4 hours a day. I should be working the fields with 7 children. Of the the 7 that survive from 12.
I don't know. Someday we should talk about that video, because it's a hoot and a holler, to say the least.
I think we talked enough already. What is going on in here?
A really shitty bonus level, because it's a maze of barrels that you don't know which way the barrels go. So I have to redo this level.
Lovely.
Oh, I guess a question for you. What do you think about the is it Stucker Brush Symphony or Sticker Brush Symphony? I can't remember.
I think it's pretty great.
Yeah. I mean, I do like it. It's just, people sort of say that it's, like, the best, song, not only in Donkey Kong Country 2, but the series in general. And it was always one of those things where it's just sort of like, I don't know. Like, it's good, but I don't think it's that good.
I think it has a lot to do with how much this kind of tune just gets imprinted on people's minds. Because this is you're dealing with a lot of fast upbeat tunes for most of the level, and you have to concentrate a lot on the platforming. You can't just stop to bob to the music, otherwise you're gonna waste a life on a level. So when you get to a level like this, where with a song that is more melodical and slow like this, it does make an impact because of how how much of a contrast it is.
Okay.
It makes sense that it would be the song to stick on people's minds. I think it's a great song. I haven't paid much attention to the others.
Well, the thing is that, like, for example, the Rattle Battle, that like I place that well above this kind of thing, and also Melancholy Miners, or I think is what it's called, the one where we went in level 2, where we were flying up the mine shaft with Squawks. Like, those are 2 songs, like, immediately that I can say, like, oh yeah, that's much better than Sticker Brush Symphony.
Yeah.
But I guess I can understand that it sticks out in people's minds, especially since this is the first level it's introduced, where you have to, like, wait around a lot and there's no danger.
Yeah. So it does leave an impression. It's kind of a respite level, and so I guess people it really helps sediment the song in people's minds.
Nope, I went the wrong way. Oh well. Let's see. Oh, Gok and I saw a few movies. We saw Oni Baba, I think is what it was called.
And like the day after, I saw a video from of like Willem Dafoe doing like a his random picks of the Criterion Collection, and one of them was Oni Baba.
Yeah, Oni Baba was a weird movie. Like, I'm not angry or anything that I saw it, but it was just sort of like...
It's one of those. It's an interesting piece.
Yeah.
Because it's
like, if you watch it as like a normal movie, like if you're expecting like a story, you don't really get that, because it's sort of like
no, you don't get a story if you're watching Eraserhead. Okay, let's be careful with the way we describe things here, because there is a story in the movie.
Well, there is, but it's just sort of like, you think you're getting one for like the first half, and then it just kind of meanders, and then there's no real ending.
Yeah, because I think mainly the point of the movie is kind of a...
I do know that there's a lot of like stories in Japan, especially the horror ones, where it's just sort of like something happens, and then this is just the way things are, kind of thing. Like, that's sort of the point of the story, but that's kind of what the movie does.
I think it's very much like the point, like it's a bit reductive to say that, but it's kind of like a story about karma, because what happens really is by the end of the movie, with a mask stuck into the woman's face, just like the samurai at the beginning, and like this the samurai earlier in the story. It's very much like a tale of an aspect of karma taking place, because she presumably the samurai did some heinous stuff during the war. And the mask.
But he also mentioned, and they discuss it in the movie, that, and it's probably inferred that was the reason the mask was stuck to him, was because he basically abandoned his platoon.
I don't know. It's very much an idea that he did something that is very reprehensible, which could be abandoning their platoon, considering the Japanese perspective on honor and fidelity. But and then, like, the mask getting stuck on his disfigured face was very much a form of, like, a karmic punishment, and so was the case for the story of the case for the woman.
Would you think her scaring her daughter-in-law would be less of an issue, rather than the whole killing random soldiers who just happen to wander by just so they can steal their shit and sell it? Like, I understand they're trying to survive, but holy shit, that's pretty low.
Yeah.
But with that, that is the end of the video, and I hope you guys enjoyed, and we'll see you all next time. Have a nice night.
Bye bye.